Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies, this was your night at the Stafford Speedway, so I want you ladies to get up out of your seats and give them a wave. That's right, ladies first tonight as we salute the SK Modified competitors on Fireman's Appreciation and Ladies Night. Ladies and gentlemen, they're about ready to thunder off turn number 4. Ladies, give them a wave as they come to the line. It is showtime, SK Modified style, as the ladies are up in their seats and salute. Green and racing to the bottom of turn 1.
While the ladies are up in their seats, Tommy Bowles is up on the wheel as he is trying to hold off the 96 of Kurt Brainerd. And Brainerd is able to maneuver his way in front.
No question about it. The battle for second is a battle between Bowles on the inside, the color red. Todd Owen is right there in the mix with car number 81, and already moving to the front of the class is Woody Pitcat. Pitcat, defending series champion. He's on the podium in the 3rd spot. Sees a little daylight on the bottom. Pitcat and Foster are wheel to wheel, and the meat in the sandwich there is Tommy Bowles.
And it's Ronnie Williams who is able to whisk his way into second. So the rookie, car number 59, getting the jump on Bowles. Now making a move down low is Todd Owen. Todd Owen trying to clear the 25 car as Sean Foster, the grenade, has just pulled the pin.
He has definitely come into the front zone of cars as now Foster sees a little daylight as all of a sudden Bowles becomes the arrow point in this one. Meanwhile, Todd Owen doesn't give up on the bottom. Doug Colby is there as a factor with car number 15, and look at Avery. A week ago, trouble now. Bowles is off the pace. To the bottom, he loses 2, 3, make it 4 positions there, Matt.
He almost wound up in lawnmower country out on the grass. Now Colby gets by him on the outside. Jervis is right behind him. At the front of the field is Brainerd. Here comes Ronnie Williams trying to get to the lead for the first time in his SK Modified career. He is giving it everything he has as they come out of the 4th corner.
Off the turn, they rumble down to the line, and it is a good battle going on at the front of the field as Ronnie Williams takes over the lead, starts to pull away, and Williams has now become the top dog in this feature event. Further back in the competition, here comes Keith Rocco. He's threading the needle rather nicely, working his way through traffic as well.
Dan Avery makes a do-or-die move against the 25 of Sean Foster. It didn't work. Foster is able to hold him off. Some great energy coming out of turn number 2 for the grenade. Look at Doug Colby going to work on Avery.
And as Doug Colby goes down underneath Dan Avery, all of a sudden Foster is feeling the heat of Avery, who's starting to move in. Todd Owen is still there as a factor. Look at Keith Rocco. Meanwhile, look a little further back. Ryan Priest has now emerged among the top cars as Priest is also coming to the front of the class.
A good move by Keith Rocco trying to jitterbug his way underneath Colby. He's able to pull off that move, and now he is attacking the back bumper of the Sean Foster car. Surprise at the front. Ronnie Williams has had a fast car all season long, has had no luck. Right now, he is holding his own against Brainerd. The battle a little deeper as here comes Kid Rock. This is the best we have seen Keith Rocco in a while.
Well, the Mr. Rooter machine is running very, very strong here tonight. Now Doug Colby moves down underneath Sean Foster. That's the battle for the 5th spot. Colby makes his presence known on the inside. Todd Owen is there, and here comes Ryan Priest. Priest is up to the 7th spot. Where's Teddy Christopher? He's back in the 10th position with car number 13. Down the back straightaway, Williams might have been considered just a young kid, but he is showing a lot of potential and muscle tonight as that car is spot on, as Williams looks like he is going to be the guy to beat 11 laps into the event.
Good battle. Ryan Priest, Todd Owen. That is for 7th, and it's won for the time being by Ryan Priest as he just blistered his way underneath Todd Owen.
Look at Kid Rock. Keith Rocco pulled off a bonsai move to the inside, literally slammed the door on Dan Avery, as now Keith Rocco running like days of old here at Stafford. Kid Rock is up to the top 3. Rocco all over the back bumper of Brainerd, setting in the 2nd spot. Here comes Avery. He gets a 2nd win. He's going to go to the outside.
And he finds it he finds Rocco there on the outside as well. So Rocco went outside to impede the progress of Dan Avery. Now Rocco, crossover, slingshot move against Kurt Brainerd. This is for second. Dan Avery is a factor as well, and Rocco has just slid his way into the second position.
Avery says, if Rocco can do it, why can't I? And he does. Doug Colby tries to make the same type of move down under Brainerd. It works. Now it's Colby up to the 4th spot. 5th is Brainerd. 6th position is Foster. 7th is Priest. 8th is Todd Owen. 9th position is Jervis. And 10th spot is currently held down by Ted Christopher with car number 13.
What a move by Ryan Priest, getting underneath Sean Foster. So Priest now has moved into the top 6. Look at Ronnie Williams. He's a hockey player, and right now he looks like a slap shot that's been fired off the stick of Sidney Crosby. Big, substantial lead by a mountain range over Keith Rocco.
Trouble now, right underneath the Napa Auto Care sign in turn number 2. It looks like the Membrino car number 00, and Jesse Mueller that came together. So Mueller's first outing here at Stafford is not what he had anticipated after having such tremendous success in all the other divisions he's competed in.
Yeah, 8 wins in the dirt modifieds this year, but it looks like he runs into a big problem on lap number 15. What a big, frantic pace to this one. Of course, Ronnie Williams, a rookie, is going against now one of the best restarters in the SK modified division, Keith Rocco. So Ronnie Williams, this is going to be the moment of truth for him. It's Joey Cipriano on pit road, along with Brian Sullivan in car number 92.
So the field is under yellow, 15 circuits into the record books. Ron Williams, a hockey player, as we said before, kind of a youngster, and came onto the scene rather aggressively in the SK Light division, and he has been very, very strong and getting even stronger. Connor Sullivan is down on pit road where a lot of cars are already in, including Brian Sullivan, Cipriano, Membrino, and Mueller.
Well, down here in the 84 pit of Joey Cipriano, they had a lot of trouble with this car in practice trying to get the rear end adjusted just so. They're checking the air pressure in the left rear tire. They brought out jack stands, but they're gonna decide to let them go. Let's go down to Tony Sutton.
Eric Burt, the hood is off the car. It appears one of the plug wires have popped off because the car's got a really bad skip. They're checking them each at a time now, and I'll tell you what, that's got to be tough stuff because those exhaust pipes are right over top of the plugs. As now they have a little trouble getting the hood back on. Brainerd sits anxiously in his number 66, waiting for the crew to get the hood back on the car, back upstairs.
Well, that's kind of a heartbreaker for him. Eric Burns is a real good race car driver and a real nice guy, a family guy. As the field goes back to green, guys that got stuck on that one included Brian Sullivan, Membrino, and Mueller, because they are way back from the competition here. Back at the front of the field, Kid Rock, Keith Rocco. We haven't seen him run like this in quite a while. Off turn number 4, Kid Rock is wheel to wheel with the number 59 machine of Ronnie Williams. Williams guards the inside lane. To the outside, here comes Kid Rock, Keith Rocco, up on the wheel, side by side, closer than most people park. They rim ride back to the line. Rub rails off the turn. By a nose, it's Williams, still the youngster, holding off, one of the best in the business. Meanwhile, Doug Colby sits in that 3rd spot. Avery is up to 4. Here comes Priest. A little further back is Brainerd. Then it's Foster. Back to the front of the field. Nobody's given an inch. Side-by-side racing. Trouble further back in the field. Hitting at a ton is... It looks like the 77 of Gallo is involved. Sylvester is involved, who hits hard. And a 3rd red car is up there on the high side of the racetrack as well. And we believe that might be the Talman machine, car number 33. So a heartbreaking situation. We see fluid on the racetrack itself. As the Gallo number 77, that's the Gallo Automotive race car. And a heartbreaking situation there as the caution comes out. The second caution of the event as car number 88 was just about to take over the lead in a side-by-side race there. The Gallo race car was so very strong. Teddy Christopher is on pit road. Woody Pitcat, Eric Burnt. Let's go downstairs to Tony Sutton.
Woody Pitcat's in.
And Connor Sullivan.
They're moving awfully slow, the crew is, as far as they're checking the suspension on the number 50 car of Woody Pitcat. They're jacking up one side. They're going to make a suspension adjustment as Woody sits anxiously in the car. Christopher in and out. Not sure what happened to him. Let's go down the other side of the road and see what happened.
I'm down here inside turn 4, taking a look at the accident scene. Heavy damage to the front end of the 77 of Matt Gallo that got it up on the hook. Safety crews putting down a lot of speed. Got Zach Sylvester's 51 car. They're also up on the hook. So bad nights for the two of them. Let's go to Tony Sutton.
Zach, it's good to see you back here. I just told your crew chief it's not good to see a car like that. What happened up there?
Nah, a couple guys got tangled up, and one went one way, one went the other way, and unfortunately right in front of me, and just nowhere to go.
Well, up until a few minutes ago, the car looked good, and you were moving through the field. So, like I said, it's great to see you back here behind the wheel. It's just that you got some work to do this week.
Yeah, I was having a lot of fun. We had a good car in a heat race, broke a push rod. The guys did a great job tearing the motor down, getting it back together, running good, and we just wanted a good, strong run.
That's feelings from Zach Sylvester. Obviously disappointed, but in one piece, and he has some work to do in the evenings this week. Back upstairs.
A couple of underdogs include Sean Foster, the number 25 car. He's turning some heads here tonight. Todd Owen and Michael Jervis. He shook the monkey off his back the last time we were here at Stafford. Green, and we're racing off turn number 4.
And a great start for Ronnie Williams again, getting the upper hand on Rocco. Keith Rocco retaliating, and Keith Rocco is out in front as he Cape Canaverals his way into the penthouse.
Williams got a little bit loosey-goosey as he got sideways, gathered it back. Here comes Dan Avery, high, wide, and handsome. Off turn number 4, Avery is into the runner-up spot. He is Dan Avery into second now. Williams fights back. His Achilles heel is right there on the last time by. He's okay this time as they head to turn 3.
What advantage Dan Avery has. He is very good tonight on the outside. Let's see if he uses that outside edge to shoot down Kid Rock. Kobe is next. Kurt Brainerd hanging tough. He's to the outside of Ryan Priest, and he gets a spot against Ryan Priest.
Here comes Doug Kobe again, winding it up tight. Priest now on the inside. Foster doesn't want to be left out of the front pack of cars. Dan Avery up on the wheel on the outside as he thunders his way back to turn number 1.
And Priest is able to get by Doug Kobe. Ryan Priest in 4th as they screech their way down the backstretch. Dan Avery looks like he is going to make a move against our leader, Keith Rocco, as they whiplash their way off the corner.
Look at Sean Foster in the 5th spot. Foster down underneath Doug Kobe. They are side by side and wheel to wheel. Foster, perhaps with the best race car he's had in quite some time, is giving Doug Kobe a run, but Kobe isn't about to give up. Back up front, Avery taps on the back bumper of Rocco as Rocco leads him to the bottom of turn 1.
Kurt Brainerd having a good run. On the inside, trying to move in against Brainerd. That's Michael Jarvis. Comes up empty, and Brainerd able to hold him off. We have yellow.
Caution flag comes out.
Car went on the safety road.
It's the Mueller machine that brings out the caution.
He has had a tough baptism tonight here at Stafford. First ever appearance here.
And Woody Pitcat also struggling tonight. Started out running very strong at the beginning of this event, and all of a sudden he's off the pace. Remember a year ago when Woody Pitcat was driving for the Greer Motorsports Group, he started the season tough, but by the midpoint he started to show a lot of improvement and a lot of success, and they were hoping that that same formula is going to come to play here in the Scavora-owned race car. Let's go down to Tony Sutton.
Well, they made an air pressure adjustment on the 50 car Woody Pitcat. They've got a rubber they're going to put in, but now after consultation with the driver and the crew chief, they've decided not to put the rubber in the rear. The 13 board is out. Ted Christopher coming back in. Christopher in the 13 in his pit. They go to work getting the jack underneath. They're checking the stagger on the tires right now, making sure that this car is going to handle properly. No, they are making an adjustment on the rear suspension on the number 13 car, as Ted Christopher sits anxiously in the car. Now they're going to check the air pressure right and left on the number 13 car, and this is valuable time that's going by for Ted Christopher, who has to jump back in an airplane and fly back to Loudon after this event, back upstairs.
Well, he definitely is not happy with that race car at this point in the event. Incidentally, Christopher is running a red 13 car at New Hampshire International Speedway as well. And also down in pit road, Todd Owen is there. They struggled. They had a problem with the carburetor and took the motor out of that race car this past week, sent it back to Pettit, ran it on the dyno, trying to figure it out, and did find some things wrong with it. But now that car, they've adjusted the stagger on the rear of that as well. Bowles has been in and out of pit road, and yes, Teddy Christopher does make it back. And if you know Teddy Christopher, there's 20 laps for him to get back to the front of the field. Troy Talman is also down on pit road as well, and he looks to rejoin in the competition here.
Some determination for the driver, car number 33, as he comes back, and we are getting ready for a restart. Dan Avery in his 50s against Kid Rock as they swirl their way off the corner. Let's see what kind of restart Keith Rocco was able to get. He had a blockbuster one the last time.
Well, this one looks just as good. Meanwhile, Preece stays glued to the back bumper of Avery. Avery now pulls it back into second. Williams doesn't want to be left off the podium. Here comes Preece. Deuce is wild. Ryan Preece on the outside. Sean Foster, what a great run for him.
He is right at home in the outside groove, getting the best of Doug Kobe as they blast their way off the corner. Ryan Preece trying to take third away from Ronnie Williams. Here is a heavy dose of Preece lightning, but Ronnie Williams holds him off as they exit the corner.
There was almost a little bit of touchy-feely going on there as they came together just for a moment. Here comes Foster now to the outside of Preece again. Among the other movers and shakers, Brian Sullivan has come from way in the back of the pack. He's now contending at the bottom of the top 10. Off the turn, they rumble to the line. Now here comes Doug Colby working his magic to the outside of Sean Foster. That's the battle for the 5th spot. Out in front.
Keith Rocco still leads. He was able to hold off Dan Avery, who made a frantic bid underneath him. Speaking of frantic bids, look at Doug Kobe as he fireballs his way underneath Sean Foster. Sean Foster is not giving an inch. Those two drivers are body pierced together as they exit the corner. Advantage Kobe and now advantage Foster.
Foster has put that car to the top side of the racetrack, and it just seems to have stuck there. But all of a sudden, some of the stickiness goes away, and Doug Kobe moves in to take over position number 5, dropping Foster back to 6. Brainerd in the 7th spot. 8th position is the 57 car of Chase Dowling, started 19th on the grid. This kid is coming to the front of the field, and so is Brian Sullivan with car number 92, the Monaco Ford car.
A good steady run by Chase Dowling in car number 57. He is now in 8th place, trying to take a spot away from Kurt Brainerd. Best battle for 2nd and 3rd. Is trying to make a move down low is Ronnie Williams, and he was held off by Dan Avery, the teenager, against a man in his 50s. And right now, Dan Avery is winning the battle.
He certainly is, but Avery knows he can feel the heat of the radiator as the Williams kid is glued to him. Meanwhile, look at Brian Sullivan picking up yet another position. Trouble now down between turns 1 and 2, and I believe that the car that brings out the caution is the 33 of Troy Talman. Did not make heavy contact with the wall, but the back end of that race car just went around. Down on pit road is the 00 of Membrino. You know, we've been talking so much about Sean Foster running with Doug Colby side by side. The two competitors that we have to give a shout out to is Chase Dowling, who started in the 19th spot with the 57, the youngest winning driver in the SKs that already visited victory lane, and the driver of car number 92, Brian Sullivan, who started 16th. Now remember, at one time we went back to green, and And unfortunately, Sullivan almost went a lap down because he came out of the pits almost too late. So he has gained a lot of ground. Todd Owen is back down on pit road. That car is not working as well as they anticipated. So we've got 29 of 42. Let's set the field. Keith Rocco, your leader. Dan Avery in a torrid battle between him and Ronnie Williams in third. Ryan Preece in fourth. Doug Colby's got 5. Great run for Foster in 6th. Kurt Brainerd for 7th. Chase Dowling for 8th. Brian Sullivan for 9th. And Matt Galco to round out the top 10, Matt.
And one thing about Kurt Brainerd, he is 7th. He has not finished in the top 10 all year. So this could be his best outing of the season. 13 laps to go. And getting the jump as he usually does is Keith Rocco.
Rocco is so quick on the starts. He's like a rabbit just jumping out of the hole, being chased by the dogs. Off the second turn, down the back straightaway. Priest just wants some real estate. If he can find an opening, he's going to be all over the front 2. Meanwhile, Doug Colby's been up and down tonight, and he is still there fighting, and Williams just doesn't want to be left out of this one. What a great run for this young talent.
Breathtaking battle between Williams and Avery. And now Williams moves into second. Avery hanging on to his coattails as they climb off the corner. Williams in second, all over him like dimples on a golf ball. The 10 of Avery, and it's Ronnie Williams who is leading by about the length of a 4-leaf clover.
All of a sudden, Chase Dowling has moved into the mix. He's going to the outside of Sean Foster. Good side-by-side racing there. That's the battle for the 6th spot. Back up front, still Kid Rock, the leader of the pack. And second is still Williams. Third position, still being held down by Avery. Avery gives him a little tap to the back bumper. Look at Chase Dowling. He's up to the 6th spot. Dowling, car 57, from 19th to 6th, and moving forward 10 laps to go, Matt, as they come back to the stripe.
A driver we haven't talked about much is now in 8th place. That's Matty Ice, Matt Galco. So he's had a very smart run, and he has bobbed and weaved his way into the top 8. We'll see if Ronnie Williams gets close enough to take a shot at Keith Rocco.
Back to the stripe they come, single file formation, top 5 cars. A little further back, they're doubled up. This time, Teddy Christopher moves underneath Brian Sullivan. Christopher is surfacing. Now, Christopher is coming to the front of the field as well. Christopher moved into the 12th spot. With that move there, Sullivan's car suddenly becomes evil. The Monaco Ford machine has, well, not a lot of giddy up there.
And Joey Cipriano doing a good job following Ted Christopher to the front. So Christopher, no doubt, is a man on a mission. The man in the lead is Keith Rocco. Within handshaking distance is Ronnie Williams in car number 15. A swoop off the corner. Ronnie Williams, car number 59, is breathing fire. Chase Dowling, that car is getting better lap after lap. Now he is going after Ryan Preece in a fight for the top 5.
They say that Chase Dowling is the next superstar. He is the next Ryan Preece. He is all over his back bumper. Remember, it was Chase Dowling that broke Ryan Preece's win streak here at Stafford. From 19th position up to 5. Tap to the bumper. Chase Dowling is all over Ryan Preece. That is a statement to be made. 37 laps of 42. They come back to the stripe. Kid Rock still the leader.
And Brian Sullivan continues to lose positions deeper in the field. It is intense at the front. Keith Rocco leading by a fingernail over Ronnie Williams. Dan Avery still in the battle in 3rd with Colby 4th. And Chase Dowling once again trying to give a shot to Ryan Preece. And Ryan Preece holding on to his 5th place status.
The clock is ticking. Time is running out. There's no overtime in this game. Leader is still Rocco. Here comes Dowling again. Good run to the bottom. Meanwhile, Sean Foster is waiting there with him for that one move. Dowling reels back in on the back bumper of Preece. This time by 2 laps to go.
And does Ronnie Williams have anything in reserve? Does he have any ammunition left in his belt? We'll find out. Keith Rocco, he is able to power his way. Now Ronnie Williams or Chase Dowling making a move against the 2 of Ryan Preece. He has leverage coming off the corner with 1 lap to go.
Chase Dowling shows that he wants to share some excitement as the caution flag comes out. Kurt Brainerd goes around between 3 and 4 after he was running among the front pack
Best
of cars.
race of this season.
Oh, heartbreaking situation there. But guess what, Matt?
You know, you said there wasn't going to be any overtime.
We were wrong.
Get ready for the 3 most exciting words in motorsports. Green, white, checker. To determine the winner of our 42-lap SK Modified feature, one more opportunity for Ronnie Williams to figure out a way to beat Keith Rocco on a restart, but not too many people know that secret because Keith Rocco, I would say the 2 best I've ever seen on restarts as far as consistency is concerned are Keith Rocco and Ted Christopher. The 2 most consistent guys, it seems, they never have a bad restart.
That is so true. You have to give a shout out to Chase Dowling. Now, we talked about it before. A lot of people compare Chase Dowling with Ryan Preece. He's the next up-and-coming superstar. Look at the records this season. Ryan Preece was the dominant car in the SK Modifieds. This kid came out of nowhere, Chase Dowling, and he bumped him out of the winner's circle, took over the number 1 spot, youngest driver in the history of Stafford's SKs to do that, and the kid is all over Ryan Preece right now. So that's a name to put into your record books. It's a name that you're going to be hearing a lot about. There's no question there. With 41 up on the board, here's Matt Buckler. We are going to a green-white checker situation. If you think it's over with, you are wrong.
Here comes Rocco, car number 88, like soda out of a shaken can. Rocco is back in front. Williams swinging it to the outside, opening up a hole for Dan Avery. Avery trying to muscle his way into second place.
Avery has ran the outside most of this event. He changes his strategy. Bottom shot move. Wheel to wheel, side by side. They come back to the line. Caution flag is out. We've got a car underneath the Sprint Vision sign. It is car number 3, another car that was running very strong in the competition here, Matt Galco.
Matty Ice just suffered a meltdown underneath the sprint sign.
So
we go in a double overtime.
We sure do. As that car, we can see from our vantage point that it looks like some damage done to the front end of the race car. That's going to change the whole complexion of this one. Dan Avery has worked the outside groove the entire first 41 laps and never made a bid on the bottom, but on that last restart put the car to the inside, and it works there just about as well as it works in the outside lane. So Williams is going to have his hands full on this restart. Doug Colby, that's the best we've seen the 15 run in quite some time. And then, of course, that battle with Chase Dowling and Ryan Preece and Sean Foster, who's hung there with the big dogs. Nice to see that car really coming into some success here tonight as well.
You know, one point I wanted to make about Chase Dowling in car number 57. He started 19th. He didn't get there with reckless abandon, the way you would think a 16-year-old would race. He did it with patience. So he might have the birth certificate of a 16-year-old. He has a patience of some guy in his 50s, not racing the way you would think a teenager would do, and that is a reason why he has been so impressive tonight, because he has moved up very carefully, and we will go to pit road. This report is brought to you by the Flamingo Motorsports Mule.
I'm down here in the 88 pit for Keith Rocco, and I'll tell you what, you want to talk about tension, look no further. On the 2 restarts that we've had right now, just a big reaction negatively from this 88 crew. They want this win bad here for Keith Rocco.
Well, we're about ready to go back to green. Last chance, tweet the winner. Who is it going to be? Last opportunity to tweet us and tell us who you think is going to win this SK Modified main event as they head off turn number 4. Tim Bennett staring them down. Keith Rocco, Ronnie Williams.
Well, Ronnie Williams, best
restart.
restart.
Trouble! Down into turn number 1. A massive melee. We've got Keith Rocco literally up on top, and we've got a scramble of cars. Doug Colby's car has come to a screeching halt. And wow, the calm before the storm becomes the storm itself.
The top two are involved.
That's
Rocco
right.
and Ronnie Williams.
And Keith Rocco, who was so awesome, and the same can be said about Williams, as those two cars tangled down the front straightaway. We literally saw Rocco's car up and almost going over.
I don't know if he came up to speed on his restart.
We'll have to take a look and see what we can find out. But what a heartbreaking situation for the two cars, Keith Rocco and Ronnie Williams, showing just how competitive, no one giving an inch on the racetrack itself. And Keith Rocco, who had been so flawless, Matt, you kept pointing it out on the restarts that he is one of the best restarters here, him and Ted Christopher. But on that start, he didn't seem to have...
No, Ronnie Williams beat him.
Yeah, he didn't seem to have the snap, and then there was that chain reaction. And from our vantage point here at Broadcast Central, we were seeing just a melee of cars. But Dan Avery was able to get through it.
Escape it. Doug Colby was able to escape, and so was Ryan Preece. Chase Dowling, who was 6th before that altercation took place, has moved up to 4th. But Dan Avery, somehow, he was restarting on the inside behind Keith Rocco, and he was somehow able to avoid it.
And there was just a mad scramble, dust, everything in the air, as Tony Sutton has more.
Well, in talking to the crew, Keith does not know what started that whole thing. He said, I asked him, have you talked to him? They said, yes, he's fine. The car is banged up pretty seriously, but he has no idea what happened. Next thing you know, he was in the air. So you guys up there probably have a better idea than the two guys that got together down, well, actually 4 drivers and cars that got together down here and going into turn number 1. But boy, what a way to wrap this one up.
And it's not wrapped up yet, as Dan Avery will have to hold off Doug Colby this time when we go back to green flag racing. Preece and Ronnie Williams, then our Chase Dowling, then we have Sean Foster 5th, and Ted Christopher. Remember, it looked like he was headed to a rough night and an off night. He has moved back into 6th place with 2 laps to go.
You see, Ted Christopher is now emerging among the top cars as well. So let's see what's going to happen. Here's Matt Buckler as we're about to go back to green.
Dan Avery on the inside, being challenged by Doug Colby. Very gingerly coming off the corner. Now they pick up the momentum. Colby, good job on the outside. Let's see if Avery can beat him into the second corner. Dan Avery does. Sean Foster, and there comes Ryan Preece. And Chase Dowling gets by Preece and moves into 3rd.
No question at the point. Avery slipping and sliding. Here comes Doug Colby gripping in. Colby up on the outside of Avery. Avery just refuses to be left out of this one. They come together. Doug Colby goes around. Avery stops on the racetrack, and Chase Dowling is caught in the line of fire. They come off turn number 4. What's going to happen now? Ladies and gentlemen, yellow checker comes out. Ryan Preece will take down the win. Teddy Christopher, in an unbelievable finish, will finish in 2nd. Sean Foster will finish on the podium in the 3rd spot. And amazingly, Woody Pitcat to finish in 4th, with unofficially the 76 of Tommy Bowles to finish in the 5th spot. Well, you've seen all types of finishes, but I don't think you've ever seen one like that. Dan Avery and Doug Colby came together, the battle for the lead between 1st and 2nd. And all of a sudden, as they scattered between turns 1 and 2, they had already started the last lap. They had been given the white flag. That means the lap had to be finished, and it was. And when all the dust cleared, it was car number 2, Ryan Preece, back in winning form. And guess what? The last time we were here, it was 13-2. This time, it's 2-13. And if you think this is good, Wait till, not next week, but the week after, $5,000 is on the line. You think they raced hard tonight?
Well, when we next see Ryan Priest tomorrow, he'll be on national TV on ESPN2, competing in the Nationwide Series race. But we saw something tonight that we have not seen, I don't know if ever. First, it looked like the race was going to be decided between Keith Rocco and Ronnie Williams. They got involved in an altercation. Another green-white checker, it looked like it was going to be decided between Dan Avery and Doug Colby. 1 lap to go. Doug Colby took the lead on the outside. Then Dan Avery tried to get the lead back coming out of turn number 1. Those two cars got together, and Ryan Priest was able to avoid the wreckage and was able to get the win.
And then poor Chase Dowling, who turned the run of his career, he actually went around Priest to manage to take over a front position as well. But then, unfortunately, he got caught in the melee. Down to Napa Victory Lane before the fireworks.
Well, Ryan Priest, how many times in those last few seconds did you go, what is happening here?
Sometimes you're better to be lucky than good, and everything just kind of fell our way there at the end, and we were just trying to get through the way we have to run tires. We had to run our old tires on this race, and I mean, Keith had a really good car, and so did the 59 and Doug and Dan, but sometimes it's better to be patient and kind of see how it plays out. But I got to thank my sponsors, Mizzy Construction, Sullivan & Sons. We have 10 more seats available, everybody, for the bus to go to New Hampshire tomorrow. So be sure, I'll post up a phone number so you guys can get tickets. J&A Auto, Gunsmoke Stables, Pettit Racing Engines, Napa of Canton. We have to thank Napa. All you fans for coming out, enjoy the fireworks, and everybody else in this car, FK Rod Ends, Sean Weddell Communications, CD Chassis, Racing Electronics. It's a good way to start my weekend.
Ryan Priest, that was amazing. I mean, you guys are running really hard. You moved up through the field very well. Well-deserved win, but it came at the cost of some other guys. But obviously, you can't run 2 cars in the space of 1.
Yeah, like I said, sometimes I hate it for those guys because I've been in their situation and it's rough. But we fought for this one. We earned it. But we'll come back next week stronger.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well, we're looking for the elusive Ted Christopher. You were pretty far back in the beginning there. Could you see what was going on carnage-wise way up front?
Yeah, I was like 13th on the green-white checker the first one, so I guess take a second out of that. Well, it wasn't bad. Actually, Ryan was real vulnerable, but almost got him. Need another lap.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know you were struggling with the car earlier on. A lot of adjustments been made to the car. You weren't happy with the way it was handling. But obviously, being in the right place at the right time tonight is what it was all about.
Sometimes that's how it goes. Thanks.
Well, Ted, thank you very much. Congratulations on second. Good luck tomorrow. Well, race car. 3rd place, podium, dude, from back of the pack.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been hard at work with this car. It's a brand new car. We only have 4 races on it, so I'm hoping this is going to be a cycle of things to come. But man, at 3rd place, we're really happy to be here. Quick thank you to the Hidden Still of Ellington, Clearview, and TSI Harley Davidson. And it's cool to get a Napa hat finally because we have Napa of Tallinn on the car, and it's cool to be here. I was hoping like hell these 2 would wreck in front of me, but I guess I was lucky enough to get in 3rd. So we're on a roll of good things to come, I think.
Well, Sean, one thing that was very evident, a lot of matched cars and a lot of matched drivers as far as ability is concerned, and you're in that group, so congratulations, 3rd place.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of weird because the car was a little tight during the race, and I came on the radio. I said, it's not even that bad. These guys are just really hooked up. So they're really hooked up. One more week, I think we're going to be right there to be able to battle for a win and not, 5th or 6th or something, and have a lucky 3rd. Maybe we'll get a lucky win.
Friday night, do it again.